Hey, what's good, everybody? Running a little bit late today. I'm just feeling under the weather, so just trying to put some puzzle pieces together. But I wanted to get the update in about the market today because what a wild day here in the markets. We're going to jump right into it. I don't need to talk about it. I'd rather show you. If we look at the charts here, here's the S&P 500. Broke through today, broke through that little support area, also the 200-day moving average. For a moment there, it was kind of like, we broke through. We're gonna start falling to the downside. However, during the day, there was really no news. There was no panic. There was no fear. Media, the financial media, they were all talking about other stuff. Nobody seemed to really care that the market was selling off. And all of a sudden, you started seeing stocks in the Dow one by one start to pick their bottoms a little bit. Investors started kind of going into those names individually and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. And actually, all the markets today recovered back mostly from their declines, closing back within the range of the day. So the big focus for the day today is, oh my gosh, it poked through on the S&P, came all the way back. Remember, we've been talking the past couple days about it has to close below. All the computers that trade, all the algorithms, the big decision makers all want to see the markets close below this support line as well as the 200-day moving average. We'll take a look at the Dow. It did the exact same thing. This was your leader today, by the way. It had sold off in the morning, and that's where you saw people start to come in one by one, and that's what got everybody's mind sort of thinking about the markets, moving higher for the day. Think about it. If you have a lot of money and you want to move the markets higher, where do you go? You can go to the banks and you can go to the tech stocks. That's a lot of money right there. If you want to start convincing people that the bottom is in, then you can go to 30 stocks in the Dow and really make a difference there, especially with the Dow futures. And you started to see that. Whoever it was or whatever group of people decided that was going to be the bottom, they started with the Dow today. And it almost brought back the other markets here as well. The Nasdaq closed in the middle of that range. That's what you're seeing on the chart right now. Still holding above or below, not really doing anything sort of to stand out or anything that would cause us to have any kind of concern or excitement, really. Still in between that range, so looking pretty good there. Bottom line is the Dow was down by 400 points. It recovered all of that, closed positive on the day by 5 points. So it erased 400 points to the downside. There it is. That's the Dow that you're looking at there. The S&P 500 did stay in the red for the day. It is positive now, but it did stay in the red for the day. It closed down only by 5 points, not a big deal there. And the Nasdaq 100 closed lower on the day by 12. Not too concerned about it. If we go into some stocks that were in the news, actually in the morning while the market was selling off, nobody was talking about anything besides Tesla. Tesla was one of those names that was all over the headlines today. Shares fell 5.5%. Basically, earnings were fine. The earnings were okay. It was nothing to get excited about. It was nothing to be nervous about. But what happened was during the conference call, there's a certain protocol that CEOs understand and analysts understand when they have their conferences. And there are some analysts that are tougher than others on the questions they ask. Well, anyways, there's a certain give and take there. That is your team of people that come to you. They ask you questions. Most of the time, the CEO knows those questions, answers them in a very confident but boring way, and off you go to whatever they do after that. Elon Musk has decided he's had enough of that, and he basically pushed aside a few of the analysts, or one in particular, and instead he answered questions from a 25-year-old YouTuber who's also a trader on YouTube who had about 50 shares of stock in the company, and he got a chance to ask a question, and Elon Musk had more fun with him than he did with the analysts, and even fought back with some of the analysts. And investors don't like to see that because there's a certain history, right? There's a certain way you behave on these conference calls. He chose not to do that, and big deal, right? Who cares? So a guy wants to, it's Elon Musk, right? It's like saying, oh, Donald Trump didn't say I'm sorry. Right. It's Donald Trump, right? Even though we all know he might have been wrong on something, he's not going to say he's sorry. Elon Musk, he's a visionary. This guy's incredible to watch as a human. He's decided he wants to do something different. He's not breaking any laws, so what? Let him be different. The problem is investors think, uh-oh, he's distracting from the real numbers. And that could be the case. I'm not, saying whatever. Maybe he was trying to distract from the numbers, or maybe he was just being different. So the stock was lower on the day by over 5% because of that. Let's go, I don't know, a few fun ones that I pulled up here. New York Times actually closed flat on the day. The company reported earnings that beat Wall Street's expectations, actually. New York Times, right, the newspaper. The reason why they beat the expectations, the company added 139,000 digital-only subscribers. That's a big deal if you're paying attention or you're invested in that space. They all got to go digital from Chicago to New York and over to LA. And the way that they're doing this is really slow, but it seems that the New York Times is doing a good job. The problem was, even though they had added 139,000 digital subscribers, the digital ad money, the money they're supposed to make off these people going digital, went down by about 6%. That's a big dip if you're looking at ad revenue as being your sole source of revenue, right? All right, let's move on. Ferrari, you know, that's a public company. Ferrari, symbol is RACE. Shares popped higher today by just over 4%. They also hit all new highs. The company said that the reason they did well with their earnings that they announced here was because of sales of their 12-cylinder models pushing them over the top. So shares are higher by over 26% on the year. Look, I mean, this is one that I get passionate about when I talk about these cars. Ferraris are not rare vehicles. Ferraris are not some odd thing that you just can't attain. They are overpriced cars with the perception of being rare and valuable. When they went public, in my opinion, all of that went out the window. They're now just another automaker, just like a Tesla. Yeah, they can charge a higher amount for a unique and sort of great marketing strategy, but there's nothing special about Ferraris in my mind anymore. Church and Dwight, they also reported earnings much better than expected. These are the guys that make Arm & Hammer, if you don't know what they do. Express Scripts, there we go. Express Scripts also reported earnings better than expected. Stock fell on the day. I didn't really look into this one. This is a drug company. And Blue Apron, how did they finish? Hey, the stock actually finished up 10% on the day. Blue Apron reported better than expected earnings. Very tough business. Very tough business. But maybe they're turning the corner. I don't know. Pandora, higher after earnings. What else do we have? Couple no-name stocks, smaller ones. Weight Watchers now is up 10% after earnings. Herbalife is up 3% after earnings. Skyworks, if you follow, that's up 2%. Cenex up 1.2%. CBS up 3%. El Pollo Loco up 3% after earnings. What else? Shake Shack up after earnings. What else do we have? GoPro up after earnings. So it gives you a little hint as to how earnings are going after the close here. After the markets have closed, it's going really well for them. So stock market looking a little bit positive going into tomorrow, at least as of now. Again, sorry for the delay. If there's any questions you have, happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to move on, going to do my thing, and go get some rest. I got a sore throat. My little girl got me sick, so just kind of taking it easy today. Tomorrow, instead of having a video for the normal daily video, we'll be posting a podcast. I was interviewed on a podcast. That was really cool. And then I'll be, of course, here at the normal time, hopefully, to do the normal week review of your investments. So I saw your email there, Henry. No problem. Square. Let's take a look. Square. We go over here. We make a little change there. 48, 49 after basically no change there. Looking pretty good. Probably pretty good. Did they report earnings today, or was that the other day? Other day. Yep. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Yep, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comments below, or get in touch with me at Jazz Wealth. Happy to help you. Talk to you soon.